from the Met fan base, you're looked at as the replacement for Jake. How has your career set you up to handle the pressure that is New York?
Well, I think, you know, I've been in a lot of pressure situations in my career, and I think the answer I always give, which is similar to this, is that nobody can put more pressure on me than I do myself. You know, I don't put in this much time and effort into my career and my body and take away time from my family for nothing. You know, I expect to go out and be the best version of myself every day I take the mound. So, you know, I know that big contracts and big cities come with more pressure, but you know, that's something that you just have to relish and be okay with and not shy away from.
Justin Verlander, one of the big-name pitchers that moved to different locations this offseason. He, of course, leaves the Astros, go to the Mets. Jacob deGrom leaves the Mets, go to the Rangers. Carlos Rodon leaves the Giants, goes to the Yankees. Nathan Eovaldi goes from the Red Sox to the Rangers. Back here in Studio 3 with Ron O'Dowd.
I would love
Together, they're Ron O'Dowd.
I would love to be Irish for a day.
There we go. Dan O'Dowd.
I'd like to be Ron for a long time.
Yeah, I think we all would. So it is kind of a unique circumstance,
really
right?
is.
When you have someone of DeGrom's stature, a Cy Young winner, being replaced, in a sense, by another Cy Young winner.
Yeah, now, I'm anxious to ask Ron this. You know, when you look at it, I mean, they replaced DeGrom with Justin Verlander, then no big deal. But to me, it could be a big deal. I mean, Jacob deGrom is maybe the most unique unicorn pitcher in our game. And when he is right, which we have a tendency to forget because of his injuries, there's just nobody like him in the game, including Justin Verlander. So just curious from your perception, Ron, how interesting this kind of transition is from your perspective and the fans' perspective when they watch this.
There's less than 3 pitchers on the planet that could replace Jacob deGrom. Verlander happens to be one of them.
Right.
Because of what he's gone through in his career. He mentioned some of those things, but, you know, he's not going to be overpowered or awe-inspired by playing in New York and having... He's not going to spend 1 second of his day thinking about replacing Jacob deGrom. He's going to spend every part of his day during the 6 months he'll play in Citi Field about how can he burnish and continue to build this great career that he has. And he's coming off a year, maybe his best statistical year. They've rebuilt his elbow. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less than Justin's best.
Chris Sale is the ace of the Boston Red Sox, and when he's healthy, they're obviously better. Nathan Eovaldi, however, he played an important role for the Boston Red Sox during his tenure. He, of course, is now gone. Corey Kluber, is it fair to call him the replacement?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Okay.
On the pecking order he is. To me, this deal's fascinating. You went from a power guy that, you know, relies pretty much on strikeouts. Though he wasn't a huge strikeout guy, he could get his strikeouts. Corey Kluber's not that kind of pitcher anymore. He's more of a pitch-to-contact guy. So your defense now plays a significant role with Corey Kluber. And yet, I look at the Red Sox right now, and for me, there's a ton of defensive question marks as you look around that infield. So I'm just curious, Ron, what your thought is, because this one really struck me as something like I'm not sure where this one added up from the Red Sox perspective.
Well, I think at some point they thought it was going to be cost prohibitive to really re-sign Eovaldi. And I think with Kluber, as you've seen his numbers, the last 3 years, he's built up, you know, since he injured himself in Texas, he's built up his innings to the point where he had almost 165 innings last year. So he's going to give that rotation those innings that they're going to need. But Eovaldi is kind of a folk hero there because of what he did in 2018. Of course, that extra inning game against the Dodgers. So he'll be missed. Yeah, the San Francisco Giants figure to miss Carlos Rodon. He was excellent last year. He was excellent in his final year with the Chicago White Sox. You got Ross Stripling and Sean Manaea, 2 very good pitchers. They've been quality contributors throughout their career. What are you looking for from those 2 guys? You know, I don't think we should sell the Giants short here. When you look at Kevin Gausman, who was kind of a reclamation project, they turned him into their #1 starter at the time. Rodon always had that kind of ability. But you got to give the Giants credit because they kept him healthy every 5th day. So I don't think in the singular aspect of replacing one pitcher, neither of those 2 guys are going to do it. But
in the aggregate, I just feel like the Giants' formula with their pitching staff, pitching in that ballpark in particular, they have a way of taking the guys from one level and getting them to the next level. I expect that to happen again this year with both of these guys.
And I think Stripling also gives them some versatility, so he could go back and forth, whether you want him in the rotation or you want him relieving. And Sean Manaea did not have a good year, but he's a good pitcher.
He is.
And some of his best years were in the Bay Area. So I think this is kind of a homecoming for him in a way, and I think he'll get back to his form.
And Logan Webb, when he's right.
We don't talk enough about Logan Webb.
He can definitely be filthy. So, I like your point. Don't undersell the San Francisco Giants. All right, let's dip down to the minors, where the single-A affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Hillsboro Hops outside of Portland, have named Ronnie Gajalnik as their manager for the upcoming season. She's the former member of the USA softball team. She's going to become the first woman to manage a high A affiliate team. And she joins the Yankees' Rachel Balkovec as the second woman to manage a men's professional baseball team. Congratulations. Coming up on MLB Tonight, Andrew Jones sitting down with our Mark DeRosa to talk about his Hall of Fame candidacy. And wait till you hear the exclusive list that Andrew Jones is a part of.